Hello, today's December 2, 2017. Let's go over our calls. We were looking for a drop Friday, which we said could be the start of something substantial, and that worked. We looked for a pattern with an early high. We said it had a tendency to rally throughout the day and close near the high percentage of the time. And if not, there tended to be a straight line move down. Well, we got a straight line move down, but we actually closed with a rally. If this is going to end positively, we should probably gap up at Monday's open, which could act as a surrogate for Friday's close, gap up and overtake these highs. If it is going to be a straight line down, we should drop right from the open and ideally undercut this low. I frankly think the move is going to be higher and overtake these highs. We have some higher MEJT targets. We have a pattern which almost always closes near the high. And this drop here was in response to the Flynn announcement. Those of you who are old-timers might remember that when President Eisenhower had a heart attack, the market dropped like this. It promptly recovered. After the Kennedy assassination, there was panic selling like this. It promptly recovered. I expect the same thing is going to happen Monday. That will promptly recover, gap up, and overtake these highs. It's not the only way. It's not the only way to read the pattern, as we'll see in just a minute. This was the count we had. We have a clean 5 waves up, but even if we go slightly over this, we can tweak the count and have it work. This is one logical place for the leg to end, but quite frankly, it's not the only place, and I would have been happier for this to work if we had less of a recovery on Friday. The recovery leads me to think we're going to probably overtake this high Monday. If we overtake the high, it'll be bar 13 for real on the combo sell, but I don't believe this one until we start dropping. I'm just aware of it, but I'm not going to risk any money on it. The count I think is right is that this is A, and that's B, and that's C for A, and that's A, and that's B, and we're making C for wave B, and it probably isn't complete. It's not the only way to count it. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for A, for 1 rather, works. Here's your ABC. You have all these fib ratios. This target here is a Fibonacci target of the prior consolidation. So if we start to drop here, you can say, I told you so. But again, it's a legitimate count, but it's not the one I'm looking for. Let's go over how MEJT could have helped you on Friday's trade. First of all, this was a target that was hit yesterday. MEJT again gives support and resistance levels rather than entries and exits, and you can see what a good resistance and support level these numbers are. Early on, MEJT gave a buy and said if the move was immediate, the move up would be strong. But the target is right here at the green line. Now, a lot of people read my book and they say it's a buy signal and they buy, and that just is not how the system works. A buy signal means a higher price will print, most likely within 2 days, and there'll be resistance at that price. So when the signal is given here, the system says you're going to go a fraction of a point higher. It might take you 2 days to get there. Now, if somebody wants to go long for other reasons, that's fine. The system says go ahead. But if this is all you have, you're looking to sell at this point. You are in resistance. You had a prediction from Thursday night that we should see a drop. buy signal or not, you're at resistance. In the afternoon, it gave a buy. It said if the move is immediate, it should be strong. We've never undercut this low, and that number is still a valid number. The target from the morning pattern is 2650.63. Target from the afternoon pattern is 2649.55. I know this thing about the buy signal and resistance can be confusing, and that's the advantage of the software. I'll tell you that a large number of people who use it, they tell me that they just use it wrong. Just as people who would just see the word buy and buy are using it wrong. It just says there's a higher target. Doesn't mean it's worth trading. And the advantage of the software is we have a little explanation of all the calls, and it really tells you what the call is and what it says. Now, just to complicate matters, TradeStation has changed its policy. It used to be it took $5,000 to open an account, and you'd have to pay monthly fees, and they would collect the fees for the software and give it to the programmer, who would give my cut to me, basically. And a lot of people didn't want to use TradeStation. They didn't want to devote $5,000, didn't want to pay the monthly fees, and they have every right not to do it. But TradeStation has a new policy called Plan D. You can open an account free. They won't charge a monthly fee, and they also won't distribute monthly fees to the programmers any longer. So because of this, we're changing our policy. Anyone who wants to get the software can do so free. We'll give them a month's free trial. They have the option to purchase the program at a reasonable price. We have to update it periodically because of some peculiarities in the TradeStation software, but we're talking about a fee of around $2 a month. And the people who don't want to purchase the program outright can still use it for a fee which is going to be significantly less than what we're charging now. If anyone's interested, here's my email address. Let me know. I know it'll take a while to get the stuff from TradeStation in, set it up. We're still working on pricing. Obviously, the more interest we get, the less we're going to charge. Monday, I think the most likely thing is we gap up and overtake these highs. Here are the targets. It would not surprise me, being this close to the all-time high, if we went over it. The pattern should be one with an early low, but the early low doesn't preclude us from gapping up first. If I'm wrong, it should be obvious at the open by gapping down sharply and undercutting this low here. That's not my preferred scenario. I think we're going to gap up, but I don't make a guess on these things. We'll just have to see how we open Monday, and that's today's call.